What's up, Key Stage 2? Alright, today we're going to be working on our defending. So don't worry for the meantime about having a ball. Have it next to you. Just make sure you got your water and you're ready to do some defending drills. Okay, Key Stage 2. So the first thing we're going to be looking at when we do our defending is our defending stance. 3 things you need to remember. Number 1, start position. Number 2, sitting in a chair. And number 3, keeping your opponent at arm's length. Okay? So, start position, sitting in a chair, keeping the attacker at arm's length when we are defending. The reason we get nice and low in this position is to make sure we maintain our balance. Because if we're stood like this and we get bumped into, you're way more likely to fall over than if you're like this, low, balancing your weight on either leg. The next type of defending we're going to be looking at is called the push step. So, as we spoke about earlier, start position, sitting in a chair. Alright, those are the first 2 things you need to remember when we do this next phase. So defending the push step is when we are using our outside leg to push and we are using this leg to move forward. So we're pushing and moving nice and slowly. One thing we need to remember is we do not want our feet to connect and touch as we move our next foot. So if the attacker is coming down, you use a push step to stay in line with them and channel and keeping that distance. So push across. Show you one more time. Nice and low. Now you have a turn. The next type of defending we're going to be looking at is the drop step. So, for example, if the defender is coming towards me and I'm going with them, but they turn and change direction across me like this, you can do a drop step, which is a reverse pivot, and then maintain that gap between yourself and the defender. So if I come back, defender's coming towards me, they've changed direction, I reverse pivot, keeping that gap between myself and the defender. Okay, Key Stage 2. So the last type of defending we are going to be looking at is called the stutter step. You will use this when you're trying to put pressure on the attacking team, and you want to use this stutter step because you sprint up fast and you're using fast feet to slow down and keep that gap between yourself and the defender. So if this is the attacker, I'll show you an example of a stutter step. So I'll come sprinting up, slowing down, keeping that gap between me and the defender. If I show you from this side, keeping the distance arm length apart from the defender. Set the cones up like this in a zigzag position, and you are going to practice your different types of defending that we've just gone through. So the first one you're going to do is your backing up. When you get to the cone, you're going to reverse pivot, come to the next cone. Reverse pivot, come to the next cone. Reverse pivot to the next cone. And then you're going to sprint up and stutter step, stopping at the end. Okay, I'll go through it one more time. So you start a tiny bit in front of the first cone, come back, reverse pivot, move to this cone, reverse pivot, move over here, reverse pivot to this cone, and then sprint back to the top cone, stutter step. So key stage 2, I'd like you to practice those types of defending. So you've got the push step, you've got the drop step, and you've got the stutter step. Obviously, if you don't have cones at home, use what you can. Could be chairs, could be toilet roll, could be water bottles, okay? But enjoy, have fun, see you on the next one.